mọi người, mình là Vi, là host của chương trình podcast Con người hiện sinh, là một cái dự án cộng đồng hướng tới việc lan tỏa một cái lối sống hướng thiện, chân thành, tốt đẹp, dựa trên một cái tinh thần cốt lõi của hiện sinh, đó là be yourself, sống trong thực tại và tỉnh thức trong thực tại, cũng như là chịu trách nhiệm với cái con đường, cái suy nghĩ và quyết định để có thể là sống trong một cái thế giới cái khủng hoảng, cái biến động. Từ đó là cái nội dung podcast con người hiện sinh hướng tới. Cái điều hay của cái podcast con người hiện sinh đó là khách mời của con người hiện sinh podcast có thể là bất cứ ai. Chúng tôi sẽ bắt gặp những con người mà chúng tôi gọi là những nghệ sĩ cuộc đời, thì chúng tôi tin rằng là ai cũng sẽ có cái nghệ thuật của riêng mình khi mà họ có một sự cống hiến, một sự tập trung để làm tốt cái việc của họ. So now let's change a little bit the way that we interact. Before, actually, I used a book, very interesting book for us to discuss one random sentence in the book, right? But now I have another tool. You know what it is?
A tarot deck.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know anything about tarot.
Neither do I.
Yeah. Yesterday I came to a bookstore and I saw this, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah,
the painting.
Yeah.
So it reminds me of the time I met you.
Yep.
In the gallery.
Yes,
right?
I remember that really, really well. That was very
And I can feel that you are very, passionate about art, about the people, talking with people, and sharing your story with helping people. And I think that you are also an artist to me. And when coming back to the tarot, when we look at the picture, actually it gives me a lot of feeling, because it's like a painting, a small painting, collection of painting over here. Right?
Stunning little works of art. They're really stunning.
Yeah, and every card has, for me, it has different meaning. But we just don't care about the meaning of the real tarot. But actually, I want you to hold this, and then just choose for yourself 3 cards that you have the most, the most emotional, the strongest feeling about, that remind you of some of your memories, or something that that you can never forget, or something special with you. Okay. Yeah. So
I shall pick
like
the 3 that resonate the most with me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's have a look. So I haven't finished the deck, but I just chose 3 that just resonate with me.
Okay.
And
I don't know anything about tarot, so it's good, because I don't put the perception, already definition into it. So I hope that you the same.
Yep, exactly the same. I know
just
nothing
read
about these images.
Just become the tarot reader by your own way.
So I've chosen Queen of Swords.
Queen of Swords. Okay.
So this is an image that resonates with me, because I can see this woman is extremely strong, and it's about just what I feel, my daily life, my internal life as a woman of colour. Australia is a very multicultural society. So my father actually came to Australia in 74, 75 to do research in anti-cancer drugs. And then with the end of the Vietnam American War, the Australian government allowed the spouse of these students to come over. So my mum was pregnant with me at the time, and subsequently gave birth to me. And what I really love about my parents is that they brought me up to accept everyone, and just to basically fit into society. And this is something that the Vietnamese population are actually known for in Australia, that when they came as refugees in the 70s and 80s, they actually integrated very well into society, and that's something that they're admired for. And they're also admired for the fact that they also give back to their local community. So when I was growing up, because the country wasn't quite as multicultural as it is now, I was actually one of the few Asian girls at my school. I was one of the few in high school as well, and it wasn't until I transferred to a different high school in Europe that there were more Asians. So I never thought twice about the way I looked. It wasn't until I was in year 7 in my first high school that the geography teacher, who ironically enough was Italian, made a comment about my eyes, and everyone looked at me. And so I'd never thought about my appearance at that point. So, you know, from then on, I did think about my appearance a little bit. But regardless, I just thought myself as me. So I thank my parents for that attitude. But, you know, when you grow up and you've actually integrated into a society, you also tend to lose a little bit of your culture as well. And it wasn't until about more than 20 years ago I made my first trip to Vietnam, and that's, you know, at that point, that was when I felt that this was my spiritual home. So I consider Australia my home, of course, because I was born there. I was brought up in that society. I was nurtured by the country. But Vietnam is also my home. It's more my spiritual home.
But where are your parents comes from?
So my father is from around here. He's from central Vietnam, and my mum is from the south, from Mekong Delta. So having grown up, having been integrated into society, and then in my mid-20s going back to Vietnam and realising and understanding and getting acquainted with my culture, it felt that it actually gave I actually felt complete. And it might be a cliche, but I just didn't feel whole before I made that first trip to Vietnam. And so after I made that trip to Vietnam, I felt a lot more centered. And it's made me really proud of my culture and my heritage. And so I feel that this also actually affects my daily practice. So when I go to work every day and I have to speak to patients every day, they don't, you know, I think the perception is when you see an Asian face, you expect them to speak with an Asian accent. But then and that's probably what I'm sure the patients think that too, because we all think that I open my mouth, I've got an Australian accent, I'm extremely confident because obviously I've worked in the hospital for over 20 years, so I've got the experience. So for me, I feel like what this Queen of Swords card represents is that how I, as a woman of colour, and also as a healthcare professional who's worked in a hospital for decades, it's almost like how can I be a role model to other women of colour? How do I convey that, you know, women of colour have got so much to offer to the world? So that's why this card resonates with me. Okay. This second card is a gentleman in a robe. Is it a gentleman or a gentlewoman?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, we're not quite sure, but this person is a very attractive and well-dressed nobleman or noblewoman.
And maybe with a lot of money.
Yes,
coins.
Very well-dressed. Yes. So with some coins, by the looks of it, I just thought they were just circles, surrounded by, I think these, to me, they look like a vineyard. So it looks like there are grapes in the background, and there's also a little bird perched on his or her hand. So this person obviously comes from great wealth. If you look at the robe, very well dressed. So this to me is about being in touch with nature. And I believe that we need to, because of the way society is evolving and we're so reliant on electronics and with the development of AI, and we lose touch with our oneness with nature. So if you look at things like, if you look at something like, and I'm going to use diseases and healthcare conditions because of just my background, and it's just something that's just part of my daily work life. If you look at things like diabetes and being overweight, so we call these diseases of affluent countries like Australia and America, and that's because people aren't as active and they're not moving around, they're eating a lot of junk food because it's convenient, whereas back in the old days when we were required to live off the land and we had to physically grow all our food and we had to hunt after animals to get our protein, we were a lot more leaner, we were fitter. You know, we didn't have these diseases of affluent countries. And not only that, I think that because we're so urbanised now and we rely so much on electronics, we've just lost that connection that we have in nature, which is really important. And that's why I always tell patients as well that you just need to get out into nature so that it actually grounds you. So this is something that I actually recommend to develop one's spiritual internal life. Spending time with nature is really important, and that's one of the things that I really love about coming to the centre of HIliwon is actually seeing all those fields. It just, it actually gives me it actually instills calmness in me. So even in the drive on the way here, just seeing all those green fields, it was just the most loveliest, calming, serene feeling, and it's just something that I'll miss a lot when I go back to Australia. Okay, so this is the third card.
Wow.
So this is
seems like something.
So this could either be construed as a group of men, young men, that are either fighting, or they could be building a structure together. So I also too found it quite ambiguous. I wasn't sure if there was some conflict or whether they were actually participating in a team dynamic in building something. But what I take out of this is that I always think that teamwork is extremely important, because when you're in a team, you actually look at everyone else in your team and you learn from them, because I believe in lifelong learning. What I take out of this card is that there can be elements of conflict, and that's how I interpret healthy discussion. I think debate, rigorous intellectual debate, is really important, and it's important for our development. And again, it's all about learning and the quest for lifelong learning and staying curious. So I think, any sort of discussion that provokes any sort of thought or inner reflection is really important, such as the one we have at the moment. And and it actually is okay to have disparate ideas. That's what it's all about. No one wants to have the same ideas as everyone else. We're all individuals. We should celebrate our individualness. We should celebrate the fact that we have different viewpoints, and we already are, because we come from different cultures. Even though I consider myself Vietnamese, and I say that these people in Vietnam, they're my people, there are still cultural differences, obviously, because I was born and bred in Australia. But we need to also celebrate that, because I'm still championing my culture, but now I've got a different viewpoint. So it's all about healthy discussion, healthy debate, just so that we can bring out the best in each other and be the best version of ourselves. And it also represents just also as part of that, just collaboration and cooperation, again, to bring out the best in each other and bring out the best in ourselves.
That's right. Can I borrow? Yeah. So, 4?
I know, I accidentally took 4. I didn't see the bottom one, so
yeah. So I think that
well, the King of Swords.
There's something behind the story.
All right. Okay. So I didn't expect this. When I was touching it, I did realise that I'd accidentally taken another one.
Yeah.
So this is the King of Swords. So I do talk about this a lot. So I am very much an advocate of women's rights. In a lot of countries, particularly the Asian countries, there's not enough equity with women, and women are expected to actually fulfil household duties. So this to me just represents just the patriarchy. And it's not so much as saying that one gender is better than the other. It definitely isn't. It's just, for me, it's about equality. And I think that just women just need to be valued for their achievements, their abilities, and based and be judged on their merits rather than the expectation, which is, and this is in every culture, they have to be based on the way they look. How ladylike they are, and and I understand that forms the basis of virtually every culture, that the expectation of the woman is to be the nurturer, the carer. She's required to look beautiful, and then you've got all these societal standards that they have to be, a woman has to be pretty and youthful forever. That I think that we need to look beyond that, because that's all tied up in materialism and consumerism. And it's always what I say is that we need more equality with women, and we need to acknowledge them for their other skills and their other merits and their other talents. So that's my thoughts on King of Swords.
Amazing. Yeah. Through these cards, I have a chance to listen to your stories, your sharing. I think it's amazing. This one really touched me with your opinion about women's rights. But I have some experience with my my mom. I have a good chance to know a lot of strong women. Yeah, strong women.
That's really fortunate.
Yeah.
To have such great role models in your life.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, because I'm an adopted daughter.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I am. So my adopted mother, she took me when I was very young, just 2 kilos, young, and the skin is very thin. But actually, she loves me. She has a good condition with a lot of money, and then she cannot take care of me because she has no experience. Then I have another opportunity to see another mom. That's the nanny at that time, but I call mom later. Yeah. She also had a great love for me.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and when my mother was getting poorer from very big house, and then we become very poor at that time, and the nanny just take care of me for my study, and her daughter, her blood daughter, also support me in my study at school with financial support.
Wow.
Yeah, and I also see a lot of great women during my time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, when I come to the society to work, and I get supported from a lot of women.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's not even amazing. That's a blessing to be blessed with so many role models and so much support.
Yeah, and I learn from them a lot, especially the woman in the central part of Vietnam. In here before used to be the woman rule. You know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know the word, but actually it's like the woman who had the rights in the family.
So it's the matriarchal society.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Actually, the right is always together with the responsibility.
Yes,
right?
that's right. That's
That's why the woman have to have the vision.
Yes.
Have the plan. And manage a lot of things. Yeah. And even when we came here to work and live here, we have the chance to know a lot of women in business. So because time just changed, the world is changed. So now even they are women, but they have to work like they have to work before, right? But after the impact from the north of Vietnam, that means that the man will rule the family, and everyone in the family, especially the woman, have to follow the man's rule. So that makes the situation, I don't know how to say. It's even complicated.
Yeah. So I didn't know that. So thank you for teaching me how. That's really interesting. So the social dynamics changed as a result of the war.
Yeah.
So it shifted from a matriarchal society to a patriarchal society.
Yeah.
So that created some tension.
Mm-hmm.
So it made things in the social fabric of the society very complex, and it created tension.
Yeah, because the women now they have to go to work to earn money.
Yeah.
And do a lot of tasks, right? Yeah. But also have to take care of the baby, the family, and household,
and also submit to the husband as well.
Yeah. Somehow they have to be a little bit lower than.
Yeah, they have to be secondary.
Yeah, secondary.
And so that's what I found. Particularly coming to central Vietnam, I really found that the woman was secondary, and I didn't realise until you told me today just the history behind it, which I think is really fascinating.
Yeah.
I just always thought that the woman was just secondary, and it was just something that was just indicative of all Southeast Asian cultures. I didn't realise that there was actually history behind it.
Yeah.
So,
but actually, the world is changing now.
Yep.
Yeah, woman is more, confront and being recognized more than before, right? And somehow, the situation make the great people, the great women, even stronger and even more beautiful.
Yeah.
When I look at the way they work and think, and, also showing their compassion, their love for other people, other things. I feel really appreciate the beauty of the world. Yeah.
And I love your story. I think that's amazing. Just as I said, it's such a blessing to have such amazing role models in your life.
Yeah.
I come across so many patients who just don't have this level of support, and they lack the role models, and that's really, really sad. I think it's one of these things that's really, I can't generalise, but just talking from my field of work, that I just see a lot of people who just don't have that level of support that you were just telling me about. And to have that level of support and just role models to guide you and develop you in life, that's just wonderful.
Yeah,
It
so
really is.
every woman used to meet me in my life, teach me a lesson.
That's amazing.
Give me a vision, different vision. So I think that I'm very lucky. You know, I really feel amazing for your story too. You are from Asian country, right? And you know how to survive in the community that, you know, maybe that time is different from you. Yeah, but very strong. You're becoming more, you know, stronger, and, you know, just like the
Queen of Swords.
Yeah, the Queen of Swords.
I really thank my parents for my upbringing. That's something that it's, you know, when you talk about role models, my parents are my role models. I might just tear up a little bit. It's just because they just taught me just to accept everyone, just every race, every religion. I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah, I think so. That's an amazing story.
Thank you for your amazing story.
Wow.